the watcher beyond. The rain had not stopped for 11 days. That detail alone might have been dismissed as coincidence by those living in the surrounding counties. But the people of Ridgeway Hollow knew better. Every year in late October, the rain would come like clockwork, cold, ceaseless, and unnaturally heavy. The kind of rain that turns soil to soup and air to weight. It fell without thunder, without wind, just sheets of water like a slow erasure of the world. And always, on the 12th night, something disappeared. It was never the same. Sometimes a dog, a child, an old man out for firewood. Gone without a trace. No bodies. No blood. Just absence. As though the world had blinked and something had been erased. People didn't talk about it anymore. Not out loud. They made offerings, nailed charms to their doors, whispered old words passed down through family lines. But they never named it. Because naming it was to invite it. Miriam Grayson didn't believe in stories. At least not anymore. She was 35, pragmatic, practical, and newly returned to Ridgeway Hollow to care for her late grandmother's home. A century-old farmhouse nestled deep in the woods, long abandoned, more rot than timber. Her plan was to clean it, sell it, and leave. She didn't believe in curses, in disappearances, in stories whispered between porch planks. She believed in mold remediation, hardwood restoration, and property value. But Ridgeway Hollow believed in her. The house welcomed her the way a predator welcomes the return of prey. It was quiet the first few days. Damp, stale, full of the musty breath of things long dead. The floorboards groaned, but that was age. The wallpaper peeled like sunburnt skin. The attic door never stayed shut. But those were details. Harmless. Natural. Until the dreams began. She dreamt of forests at night, trees too tall, bending inward, dripping not rain but thick black sap. The moon never moved. The stars spun slowly. In these dreams she wandered barefoot, always toward a sound she couldn't describe. A hum? A whisper? A pulse? It called from beneath the earth and she followed. Every time she woke, her feet were muddy. She stopped sleeping. Started drinking coffee by the pot. She scrubbed the floors until the wood bled. She boarded the attic door. But the dreams kept coming, slipping between the cracks of consciousness, whispering in the rustle of leaves. On the 11th day of rain she found the cellar. It wasn't on the blueprints. Hidden behind a wall panel in the pantry. A small iron door sealed with a rusted latch. She pried it open with a crowbar. The air that rushed out was colder than the storm outside. The stairs were narrow, uneven, carved from stone and rotted wood. They descended into a darkness that refused to be lit. Her flashlight flickered. The bulb buzzed. The deeper she went, the more the wall seemed to breathe, contracting, expanding, moist with something that wasn't quite condensation. At the bottom she found the altar. Stone. Circular. Covered in carvings older than language. Around it bones. Human. Animal. Both. Arranged with intention. Symbols etched into the floor, smudged by time and damp. And in the center, a mirror. Not a real mirror. Not glass. Just a surface that reflected nothing and swallowed light. She stared into it for a moment that stretched. She didn't see herself. She didn't see the room. She saw a place, distant, dark, pulsing. Something was watching. She ran. Sealed the door. Nailed it shut. Told herself it wasn't real. That it was stress. Mold hallucinations. An overactive brain. But that night the rain stopped. And the silence began. Not just quiet. Silence. As if sound itself had been switched off. No wind. No frogs. No heartbeat. She sat awake until sunrise, but the sun never came. Just a gray, unmoving sky. The next day the forest began to change. Trees twisted. Birds fled. Paths disappeared. The house groaned louder as if in mourning. And shadows lingered longer than they should. Something was moving beneath the ground. She felt it. Sometimes it was a vibration. Sometimes a whisper at the edge of hearing. Sometimes she swore a knock beneath the floorboards. Then came the mud. It rose from the cellar door, thick and black and crawling. It slithered beneath the floorboards, dripped from the ceiling. It smelled of rot and blood and old, wet leaves. It whispered her name. Miriam. She tried to leave. The car wouldn't start. The road was gone. The forest closed in. GPS showed her spinning in place. Her phone screen filled with static. Time unraveled. Then came the eye. One night, she woke to find the mirror from the cellar sitting in her living room. She hadn't moved it. She hadn't even touched it. But there it was. Sitting on the floor, surrounded by wet footprints. One eye opened in its surface. A black, lidless orb pulsing like a wound. It blinked. That was the last time she saw the sky. Now the house is sealed. Overgrown. Locals cross the street rather than walk past it. They say the rain hasn't stopped in the forest behind it. That sometimes, on the 12th night, you can see something in the upper window. A woman. Staring. Unmoving. Waiting. And if you get too close you might hear something. A hum. A whisper. A knock. A presence pressing against the seams of reality. Because something came through. And it never left. And it is still watching.